And we are live. Hello, how are you doing? Facebook Live, 7 p.m., 7th Thursday, the 7th of September in my part of the world. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all those people in other parts of the world. Haven't done a live for a couple of weeks. I have to excuse the glare on my glasses, but that's tough shit, really. Can't do anything about that. So here we are. Facebook Live. One of my favorite topics tonight, passion and purpose. Going to get into that in a second. What I will say, these sessions work best. If you're on live, say hello. Tell us where you are checking in from. That would be really cool. We have a true international group here. International group of people here. So just say hi. These sessions work best when you make comments, ask questions, join in. It's not all about me just sitting here talking. Although, I can do that. But I get it's way more beneficial. It's better for me to share what's actually on your mind and questions that you've got. So if you've got any questions as we go through, then please ask. If you've got any comments, please ask. If you've got anything to add, then do so. If you're watching live, say hi. If you're watching on the replay, just type replay in the comment section. I'm going to follow the comments. And try and react to them as we go along. Not try, but I'm going to react to them as we go along. One thing I'm going to say is at the end of tonight's session here, I've got a very, 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 I think, very special offer to offer first to the people live on this call. And in turn, then people are watching the replay. And then the people in the group. And after that, if there's any, all I'm going to say, if there's any space left after that, then it will go out to general public, people outside the group. We don't want that. We want it to be people inside the group. So I'm going to release something at the end of this call. If you're watching live, and you can just, you can just fast forward, and that's absolutely fine. So, like I said, if you're watching live, give me a comment, say hi. If you're watching on the replay, just type replay. And if you watch on the replay, you can still put comments in the comments box, and I'll come back to them, and I'll answer you, and questions, and I'll come back to them, and I'll answer your questions. So, without going any further and rambling on anymore, what I'll do is get stuck into tonight's topic. And what I wanted to talk to you about tonight is I like to talk about passion and purpose. And it kind of struck me that there's quite a big difference between the two. And it sort of seems to me that quite often they get maybe sometimes balled into one. Maybe sometimes there's not the actual understanding of what the difference is between the two. Because there's a lot of noise out there in the internet world and a lot of traffic and a lot of information saying, oh, you got to live your passion and you have to live your purpose. And they're very, very different things. And I think is what I wanted to do, just to go through tonight, what they mean in kind of different areas. So, yeah, I think if I just get stuck into it, then it'll become clear what I mean, and really, really clear what the difference is. And that's what we're all about. The starting point for everything is just getting clarity. Because until you've got clarity, moving forward, moving away from where you are, if you're feeling stuck or you're feeling unfulfilled, it's often because there's no clarity. Okay, so you might have this question in your head. I'm not really, for tonight, to say get into too wider subject, for tonight, let's try and get some clarity around what the difference is between passion and purpose. So first of all, let's take purpose. So purpose is, let's take purpose. So talking really about definition, purpose is really your overarching plan, your life meaning, what you're meant to do, what you feel is your contribution to the world. So if I flip it into what I'm doing, what I do now, coaching individuals, groups, with companies, with helping people with their purpose is my absolute purpose, and I understand that. I've spoken before about how I got there. It's a long story. I'm not going to go into it now, but if you want to know, just ask me. But I know I'm absolutely that I'm living, that this is my purpose to do what I'm doing. And on top of that, that once you understand that what your purpose is, then you can start living your life on purpose. And when you understand what your purpose is, then you can then start doing things on purpose. Like, okay, is that aligned with my purpose? Once you understand what your purpose is, so that's the meaning of purpose. Passion comes down to something that you might be really, really interested in, might be really enthusiastic about. It might be something that excites you, or it is something that excites you. But that doesn't mean that it's your purpose. So that doesn't mean that you may want to turn it into a job, or I mean, you can do, right? You can do. People do turn their getting confused myself now. People do turn their passion into, as it says on the internet, passion into profit. But I think, but not always. Like, I'm a complete passion. I go like from passion to passion to passion to passion. I can get passionate about a lot of things. Are they my purpose? No. Do I want to do them to earn money or create a living? No, no, not really. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. So if you've got any comments and you want to comment, hopefully, well, not hopefully, but hopefully that the definition between purpose and passion is clear. Well, let's talk about longevity in these things, right? So, and again, when we come down to, and I just kind of alluded to it there a little bit. If we're talking about longevity, living your purpose is it's like a long-term guiding force. It's something that you can and will do and want to do for a long time. It's something that's a big contribution, and again, I know for myself, I'll just never stop doing what I'm doing, because I love it. I am passionate about it, but it's my purpose. And you keep going, and you keep learning, and you keep growing, and you keep wanting to grow in that area of your purpose. Passion, longevity in passions, as it can be with relationships, or it can be with many other things. Your passions can kind of come and go. Like, I can get, you can be introduced to something tomorrow that you can become instantly passionate about. And then you might find, that you've grown out of it, or you've changed your mind. You might be passionate about, house music at one point, and now you like different music, but you're still passionate about music, but it might be a style. You might be passionate about, one type of food, a particular cuisine, like, Asian cuisine or something like that. And now you find you might have evolved, and you're kind of, still like it, but you might be passionate about, say, Italian cuisine. And that would be amazing, because obviously Italian cuisine is an amazing thing to be passionate about. So longevity, the difference in longevity between purpose and passion, and purpose is a long-reaching, long-term goal that you keep on with, and you're always going to keep on with that thing. Passions come and go. Like I said, like relationships, passions can come and go. So that's the difference in kind of longevity with these two things. And like I said, I certainly know for myself that my passions come. I can be instantly passionate about something, and it'll be the stupidest little thing. Could be like a little gadget, And then even a few days later, I'll be like, what the fuck? Like this is a piece of crap. Um, so passions, longevity and passions in my life can be very short. Um, if you take those in and take those kind of definitions and the longevity, we turn them into um, motivation. Um, and I've talked a little bit about this on here before. Motivation, when you're up with motivation with your purpose, is that you feel, a deep sense of motivation and a deep sense of fulfillment, and you feel it's in alignment, and you always want. And I always say that your purpose is something that you can do, and you'll skip a meal doing, or you'll not watch the clock doing, or you'll be involved in it, and then time has passed by and you won't know what's happened. I always think that when you're involved with your purpose, that it's something you just do. It's a deep sense of motivation, and you don't have any problems doing it. Not saying it's always perfect, because sometimes it is difficult to get motivated. But your purpose is something that's always there, and well, let's think about something. People, okay, let's talk about people who feel that their purpose is some kind of charity work, and in that sense, people will give up no end of um, their own personal time, evenings, weekends, even holiday time, some time to go and do a mission or something like that. And that's when you kind of absolutely know that you're on purpose and you're living your purpose, because I guess I hadn't really thought about this like this before, but I guess that when you've got your purpose, then you're willing to sacrifice, and that's when you know that you're living your purpose or you're on purpose. Whereas passion, um, it can be there. Where's your motivation when it comes to passion? It depends what it is. If you're passionate about, we've spoken about food. If you're passionate about food, well, maybe there is a lot of motivation there because you want to go and try different foods, or you might want to go to a particular restaurant, or something like that. So there is motivation around your passion, but it's not deeply aligned um, to your beliefs. And as we've spoken about already, passions can change overnight. You might be passionate about steak and then decide, I'm going to be a vegetarian. And then you might be passionate about being a vegetarian. And so these things change. So, yeah, motivation. You definitely, well, I feel when you definitely feel motivation when you've got your purpose and you're living on purpose, that you find the motivation from somewhere to do the things that you need to do to live your passion. So that's why finding your passion, where I talk about it so much in the group, finding your passion is so important, because it then becomes, motivation becomes easy. Um, Not always easy, but motivation becomes a bigger reservoir. Whereas motivation with passion, I'm passionate about this. Do I want to do it tonight? Maybe not. I don't have to. Um, and that kind of leads me into like another level, and that is focus. Um, when you've got your purpose, or um, you're kind of living when you're living your purpose, or what you've got your focus, and you often have a broader perspective, and you kind of zoom out, and things sometimes become uh, less about you and more about the broader picture, more about contributing to a larger cause. I'm not talking about it always being for free, right? Right. I'm living my purpose. My purpose is to share a message, but along with that comes me charging money for it, and and that's part of my purpose. It doesn't mean that it's always that you're doing something for free, but your focus becomes, sometimes I think when you're living your purpose, your focus becomes a little bit less about you. Not saying that you're selfish, a little bit less about you, and you see the bigger picture and a wider value. Whereas, yeah, your passion can completely be, and there's nothing wrong with this, your passion can completely be more about you. And I'm trying to think of a scenario where it could be, it's kind of more about you. Like, let's go back to food. If you're passionate about food, it could be just more about you and you eating and you going to you and your partner or family or whatever, going to beautiful restaurants and enjoying beautiful meals. And you could be completely, or, it could be wine, could be anything, could be tattooing, right? You could be really passionate about tattooing and want to find and get for yourself amazing tattoos. You could be passionate about that, but that'd be something that's very focused on you, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? We can have both, by the way. I'm not saying that this is an either or situation. Oh, we got just a little comment. I missed that there. Who's commented there? I can't see that comment. I don't know who that is. Let me just reload the comments for you. Hey Breeze, how are you doing? Good to see you. We're talking about the difference between passion and purpose here tonight. I know you don't mind adding a few comments as we go along, so please feel free to. So yeah, focus when it comes to passion and purpose. The purpose of just to kind of encapsulate that kind of little section, is that the focus on a purpose tends to be on a bigger and wider cause, and tends to be for a greater good, whereas a passion can be more involved, more focused on yourself. Again, it doesn't have to be, doesn't need to be, but a passion can be just about you. You can be passionate for something that's just about you, and that's completely fine. But we're just talking about the differences, right? Let's talk a little bit about alignment and goals. When you find your purpose, it's kind of you feel that alignment, and when you're aligned with it, you can make goals. And I talked about this a little bit earlier on, that when you're aligned with your purpose, you're willing to do things that are you're willing to give more easily, I feel. I found anyway. And that's your guiding light. When you found your purpose, and you found your alignment, then you find your guiding light. And it's something that aligns with your core values, aligns with your beliefs, aligns with who you are, and aligns with your goals and what you want to achieve in life. And then goals are easier to set, easier to understand, easier to put in place, because it's also easier to decide whether you do or don't want something in your life, because once you've found that purpose, it's easy to ask yourself, does this align with my purpose? Because if you want to be true to it, then it's easy to say, well, actually, no, that doesn't align with my purpose. Whereas passions can, like we talked about before, they're not always in alignment with your purpose, and they don't need to be, and they don't have to be, and they may not be anything to do with your goals in life, what you want to get out of life. They could be something completely separate. If I said we're talking about food, or like I said, tattooing, just for an example, you might be passionate about that, getting tattooed for yourself. That's got very little. It's probably got very little to do with your life purpose and your life goal, unless you want to be a tattooist, then maybe. But it's something enjoyable, something you enjoy. Like I said, it could be food, it could be anything. You could be passionate about bike riding, right? And it might be just something you do for yourself because it clears your head, it clears your mind, it clears your heart, clears your energy. And it's also really good for you. Is it your purpose in life to be a bike rider? Maybe not, but you're passionate about it. So when it comes to it, but that, then you can have alignment with other goals, like health goals and mental health goals, and those kind of things. So alignment and goals, when you find your purpose and you find your passion, it's easier to kind of, when you've got that clarity, it's easier to pick those goals and pick that alignment and pick things that come into your life. And it's easy to say to yourself, is this in alignment with what I want to do? And you find then it's a simple yes or no. Passions, you can be brighter, wider with. Like I think I'm quite passionate about this. Do I need to do this today? Yeah. Is it in line with my goals and my purpose? No, but who cares, right? This is what I'm going to do right now. So there's loads of space in our life to have, and I think need and want both purpose and passion. And the way we find that passion is to get absolute clarity about what it is that drives us and what our core values are. So yeah, if you've got any questions, then please put them in the comments box. Like I said, if you're watching on the replay, then you can still comment and you can still ask questions and I will come back to you. What I want to do, we haven't got any questions. So what I want to do is just share with you something that I'm releasing today. So I'm releasing a new program, online program. It's being released for you if you're watching this video. First of all, it's a beta program, so it's a new program that I've done, and I want to kind of beta test it with a group of people. Because of that, I'm going to offer a certain amount of group of people, the first 5 people to come to beta test the program. It's an online course. It's going to be over 6 weeks. And it's going to be Discover Your Passion. So 6 weeks online course, Discover Your Passion. If you're fed up of not knowing what it is, fed up of thinking maybe I've got too many ideas, fed up of feeling, spending money on trying to find out what your purpose is, and you want to get clear on it, it's a 6-week online course to get clear, to get clarity, and get moving towards working and living on purpose. I'm going to offer a huge discount to the first 5 people that come to me to join this course. So the first stage is, if you're interested and you want to know more about it, you want to find your purpose and you want to start living on purpose and working towards that alignment and working towards that goal, then just comment me in the comment box and I will come back to you and we'll arrange a call and we'll talk more about it and I'll give you all the details about the course. But this is an opportunity that if you want to get involved from ground level in this new course that I'm just releasing, you want to do a huge discount, then this is your opportunity, because there's a limited spaces, as I said. Just comment me below. I'll contact you and we'll talk, give you all the details, tell you all about it, and what it is to get involved. So if I haven't got any more questions, like I said, with that last point, comment me below and I'll contact you. And if there's no more questions, I will speak to you soon.